بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وصلى الله وسلم على رسول الله وعلى آله الأطهار وصحابة الأبرار. وسبحانك اللهم لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. أما بعد، يقول الله تعالى في كتابه الكريم بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ولقد صرفنا في هذا القرآن للناس من كل مثل وكان الإنسان أكثر شيء جدلا. ثم أما بعد، السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. We thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for this, and we thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for everything. Once again, I would like to thank my brothers and sisters for inviting me again. I feel honored, and I can only say Jazakumullah khairan. From what I understood, we're talking about the honor of the Ummah, and this is something that cannot be overemphasized. I understand my sheikhs have shed some light on it, and subhanallah, as a student I was told to come and say something about it. It's a very big topic that deserves to be tackled by the sheikhs, but for whatever reason they said you should come and say something, so I'm here to say something, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for me. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala having given us this beautiful deen called Al-Islam. If you look in Al-Quran, we can, mashallah, see or derive from it different lessons. And the uniqueness of Al-Islam is that it touches all fields. After all, it's a comprehensive religion. Unlike Christianity, that if you take the Bible right from the Genesis to Revelation, it tells you so many things that not only are they contradictory, some of them doesn't even make sense. This is not to like attack Christianity, but I'm just saying what it is. Anyone who is familiar with the Bible, and even you see some like animals or creatures mentioned in them that now we know they don't exist. But look at Al-Islam. We have, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us so many examples, so many lessons to derive from, so much so that it touches on, besides spiritual benefit that we can derive therein, the physical, the physiological, the pathophysiological, whatever. And we thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for that. And if you look at the prophets, the uniqueness of the prophets, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala shower His blessings on them, each and every one of them has something unique that can be learned from. I mean, if you look at right from Adam alayhi salam all the way to the last prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, each and every one of them will have something unique that today, as we keep on struggling, as we trying to make sense of what is going on around us and around the world, then we can look at this prophet has gone through this, and that prophet has gone through that. And from those lessons, then inshallah we can derive the wisdom to know that if this is how this prophet handled this situation, then in our situation this is the way to go. And sometimes, subhanallah, it's very strange. We tend to be looking around, where can we find solution? And it's right there in front of us. And the uniqueness of Al-Quran and the authentic Sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is that again we look in them again and again, and you can see that the information they give us is always ahead of the curve. Now here in United States of America, you ask, even in the Journal of American Medical Association, they will tell you the number one killer in America is heart disease. But we know from Quran and Sunnah that the most unique organ is the heart. Quoting from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, "Ala inna fil jasad mudghah, idha salahat salaha al jasad kullu, wa idha fasadat fasada al jasad kullu, ala wa hiya al qalb." The uniqueness of one organ that dictates the wellness or unwellness, if you like, of each and every individual is what? Is the heart. And to have the heart being the number one killer is something that is inconsistent with this hadith. And it's based on this hadith I said, with all due respect, the medical profession or the medical community have got it wrong. And when I first said it, someone was, "What are you talking about? We're talking of scientists, with those with MDs, with those with PhDs. I said, but what they said is inconsistent with this, so it can't be right. But for every 33 seconds, one of us, American, for every 33 seconds, one of us will die as a result of heart disease. So that makes it number one killer. So from what we know from Quran and Hadith, this is physiologically, pathologically, pathophysiologically impossible. In other words, if you look the way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has designed the heart, it has inbuilt mechanism to actually protect itself. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has designed the body even before the development of the brain. The heart will start pumping. So the heart is independent from even the autonomic system. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put in it what is called SA node and the AV node. The SA node is what? The generator to keep it pumping for the rest of your life. And it has AV node as what? A backup. So how can it be the number one killer? But we know in Surah Al-Baqarah, Quran chapter 2, verse 168, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, "Ba'da a'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Ya ayyuhan nasu kulu mimma fil ardi halalan tayyiba wa la tattabi'u khutuwati shaitan innahu lakum aduwwun mubin." Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is so particular about food that He prescribed food for us, not just any food, or even not just only halal food, but the food should be nutritious. And this, the violation of this ayah is actually the cause of the heart. The heart is actually a victim of junk food. So number one killer in America is junk food, not the heart. The heart is only responding to the onslaught of the junk food that has been fed. Because even though the food might be halal, it might not be tayyib. As Ibn Kathir describes tayyib here as meaning what? Nutritious food. And because we violated, generally speaking, we violating this ayah, we paying the price. So it's not the heart. It's actually, the heart is just a victim of violation of this ayah. And that's why I'm saying, with all this respect, the medical community has got it wrong. Number two, cancer. You know, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has designed each and every cell to know exactly when to replicate, when to make a copy of itself, and when to die, and when the body can actually know, like in the case of injury, to speed up the replication in order to feel everything all right, then it slows down again. The gene that controls each and every cell, once it gets mutated, that is the beginning of cancerous cell. It could be benign or it could be malignant. Benign meaning that, you know, in a case where it's not that harmful, just as like in warts, as in fibroid, or it could be cancerous. Malignant, it could be dangerous to our health, which is number two, killer. And I'm saying, it seems we got it wrong because it's inconsistent. The design of one cell, as one mathematician challenged an atheist. An atheist said, you know what? Stop talking about God, God. What is God? You know, we went all the way to the moon. We didn't meet God on the way. So what are you talking about? And this mathematician, looking at the design of one cell, not a human being, no, just, you know, as we all know, it takes approximately 100 trillion cells. 100 trillion cells. That makes up the human body. So it's not this 100 trillion, no, only one cell. The design in one cell for this cell to know, to check it out, whatever is coming in and whatever is going out, what it will allow in and at what time. And once it gets inside, how it gets processed. And at a certain point, how it gets diluted, and or it gets broken down and rearranged. For only one cell to come by chance, as they claim, for only one cell to come by chance is 1 times 10 raised to the power, this zero, the last zero, raised to the power 9, 0. So what is that? And if you look at the cell as a whole, then that takes it to the next level. And that is raised to the power 950. In other words, you know, if you have 1, you just have to add 1 0. So you have 10. You add 6 zeros, you have 1 million. Right or wrong? If you have 6 zeros, that's 1 million. If you have 950 zeros, that's what? The number is so huge that we don't even have a name for it. You can't even call it zillion because it's more than that. So if one cell is this complicated, how then can cancer be number 2 killer? And I'm saying again, it goes back to this ayah. The gene gets mutated because it has been fed the wrong food. Take frying, for instance. And I don't know, my sheikhs are here, they will tell us. I can't find any hadith, even if it's Mawdu, that the Prophet ﷺ used to fry his chicken or something. The Prophet ﷺ used to fry his chicken? I don't know. But I've never seen one hadith. In other words, frying, if you look at frying, it's not something, I might be wrong. The Prophet ﷺ used to fry his food? I don't know of any hadith that the Prophet ﷺ frying his food. The Prophet ﷺ is, subhanAllah, it was only recently that I was able to figure this out. The Prophet ﷺ will soak dates in a cup of milk for some time, the duration, and the next day he will fill it out. The third day he will throw it away. Why the first day is alright, the second day, the third day throwing it away? That has to do with the way enzymes work within that. But the reason why the Prophet ﷺ will use this type and then avoid that type, or let's say not using this type, today we know that when you expose food to extra heat in the form of frying, especially for a longer period of time, the amino acid, particularly arginine, and some will say arginine, depends on your accent or which part of the world. Because sometimes I used to have my problem with my children. Back home, we were told, X, Y, Z. This is British stuff. And so I say X, Y, Z. My 7-year-old, Daddy, is that how they taught you? She taught her, no, it can't be like that because she was born here. And we say something like her mother say, Wednesday. Say, Mommy, what? Wednesday? So in this case, whether you say arginine or arginine, it depends. And I hope you bear with me. You get this amino acid, arginine, combining with glucose. Because as we all know, carbohydrates will be broken down into simple sugar, glucose. Now, when you superheat your food through frying, you have this combination, the biochemical reaction that gets arginine combining with glucose, and that creates what is called acrylamide, and it's one of the main causes of cancer. If you remember was it in 2012 that Times have right on front page, does French fries cause cancer? A question. Why? It's because of the acrylamide. And so that's why the Prophet ﷺ has taken his time to teach us not only how to eat, but what to eat, what not to eat, what to combine with what, and at what time. Sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And just in case someone is in this frying business, I'm not here to destroy anybody's, we can improve it. We can go back to steaming and cooking, those stuff. Those are just good. And we try to avoid this frying stuff. We don't want acrylamide in our system. They're very disastrous. And I admit, those fried stuff, they taste good, I have to admit. But you know what? Sometimes things that look good tastes good, feels good, they actually leads you to what? Destruction. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for us. So now the point is, if the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam will take his time to teach us what to eat, and then we ask ourselves, with all these honors that has been given us, not that because we deserve it, it's out of the sheer mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But if rhetoric, we move from rhetoric to practicality, does we really, do we appreciate it? Do we take that into consideration? Do we actually practice? And that's why I was telling some brothers, I said, as Muslims, we're supposed to be the most healthiest people on the surface of the earth. So that when they see you in the hospital, they'll be, a Muslim in a hospital? What are you doing here? Well, maybe it's genetics, and genetics maybe 5-10%. I've been saying it, I'm repeating it. 90% of people you see in a hospital actually ended up in a hospital because of food that they eat. Would guess what? It's basically violation, either directly or indirectly, of this very ayah. One ayah. And then we have some people dying for every 33 seconds. Number 2 killer is cancer, directly related with food. Number 3, stroke. Says Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, ba'da a'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. وَلَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ وَنَعْلَمُ مَا تُوَسْوِسُ بِهِ نَفْسُهُ وَنَحْنُ أَقْرَبُ إِلَيْهِ مِنْ حَبْلِ الْوَرِيدِ إِذْ يَتَلَقَّى الْمُتَلَقِّيَانِ عَنِ الْيَمِينِ وَعَنِ الشِّمَالِ قَعِيدٌ مَا يَلْفِظُ مِنْ قَوْلٍ إِلَّا لَدَيْهِ رَقِيبٌ عَتِيدٌ. This حَبْلِ الْوَرِيدِ mentioned in Surah Qaf, Quran chapter 50. Once it bursts, that is hemorrhagic stroke. If it gets clogged up, that is ischemic stroke, and it's number 3 killer. And whether it bursts or it clogs up in the form of ischemic, 99% of the time is based on what? Food that we eat. So brothers, I think it's time to rethink. I've seen some brothers laughing, and this maybe throughout the day they've been enjoying their French fries, and I've just ruined their day, man. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for us. And number 4 killer. Now you ready for this? Number 4 is medication. Did you hear me? Number 4 killer is medication. Prescribed medication. I'm not talking like quack doctors, back home you call them buakate, like hiding it. No, I'm talking of legally prescribed medication. And this is where you see the uniqueness of Tibb al-Nabawi. I told a brother, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did mention of banana in Surah Tur, packed with potassium and magnesium. I say it's good for blood pressure, but you know the side effects? The magnesium is also good for your heart. So that is good side effect. The Prophet ﷺ did mention of Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, or kama qala Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, about black seed. Once we get into black seed, that's going to take us, subhanAllah, the next month. It has to be in series. But the Prophet ﷺ saying, that is like medicine for all diseases except death. Now, if you bring it like biochemically, it's not actually a medicine. But the Prophet ﷺ says it's medicine. Why? And how can one medicine fit all? And that is because it protects the telomerase, which is actually, once it gets destroyed, it is the genesis or the beginning of all diseases. When did we know that? It's only recently. Through the studies of epigenetics, and then we get into this and that, the connection between this and that, and we all know about the genome project and stuff. That is when we start getting deep into this, and okay, what is the only thing that can protect the telomerase? Because once it gets protected, then you can distance yourself from so many disastrous diseases. And the one thing they found that matches to the letter is what? Is black seed. And subhanAllah, one of the scientists said, the Prophet of Islam, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, said the Prophet of Islam he has said something to this effect. So which means even non-Muslims recognize the honor, the blessings that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has bestowed on us as Muslims. It is up to us to appreciate it. It's up to us to live it. Not live like L-E-A-V-E. Live? No. Live it as in L-I-V-E. Lastly, sometimes you need to connect the dots. You read some verses, and wallahi, unless, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, أَفَلَا يَتَدَبَّرُونَ الْقُرْآنَ, unless with this tadabbur you just read and pass by, you're just not gonna get it. Some of these diseases that we're struggling with today, I see a lot of people will be having so many different issues because of their digestive tract is not in order. You have intestines that is actually causing havoc. Sometimes we'll be having eye problems. Sometimes we will having blood sugar problems, whether it's hypoglycemia or hyperglycemia, which, as we all know, is connected with diabetes. But what is one food that inshallah can combine all these in one shot? One food. Food so powerful, packed with nutrients, good for the eyes, good for the digestive tract or the digestive system, and it's also good for blood sugar level, whether it's up or down. Because if you don't move that much, it affects your blood sugar level. If you don't eat, it affects it. If you eat too much, it affects your blood sugar level. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us clue to one food. And this is part of the honor, something that we should appreciate. Says Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I don't feel comfortable sitting in front of my sheikhs reciting Quran, mashallah. بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وإن يونس لمن المرسلين إذ أبق إلى الفلك المشحون فساهم فكان من المدحضين فالتقم الحوت وهو مليم فلولا أنه كان من المسبحين للبث في بطنه إلى يوم يبعثون فنبذناه بالعراء وهو سقيم وأنبتنا عليه شجرة من يقطين وأرسلناه إلى 100,000 أو يزيدون فآمنوا فمتعناهم إلى حين. Now if you look at this ayah, mashallah, our sheikhs will start and just leave. But let us step back and look at Yunus alayhi salam. A man who has found himself in darkness, obviously is going to affect his eyes. And the fact that is in belly's womb will be exposed to all types of bacteria, all types of microbes. And the fact that his movement is actually restricted is going to affect his blood sugar level. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave him, when he was popped out, he was sick. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala prescribed one food, gave him one food. And that is pumpkin. And when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that He then dispatched him for da'wah, the next ayah Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, فَآمَنُوا فَمَتَّعْنَاهُمْ إِلَى حِينٍ. Implicit in this فَآمَنُوا means He came to them, He delivered the message before what? They amanu. But then, right before then, he was sick, which means the food that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave him was the same food that took care of all these problems, that gave him the health to deliver the message. When was the last time any of us ate pumpkin? During Halloween? As someone said, he said, I wonder what happened to my Christian brothers and sisters. You tell us to stay away from the devil, but once a year you want us to come and party with him. So and so you see, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us all these, that we should actually make good use of them. Like, subhanallah, if this man was sick, and this is what was prescribed for him, and he has all these issues. Because when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, you are sick, you are really, really sick. And that's what happened to Yunus alayhi salam. Time is not on our side to show, go like deep into the nutrients packed in pumpkin. And we know the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to like pumpkin. Wallah, there is wisdom behind that. And beside pumpkin, any food that it has yellowish color, any food that has yellowish color, make sure that you include that in your what? You got it. And now my question is this an honor or not? Bestowed on us for free. Because wallahi, if Islam is something that can be obtained or achieved through knowledge, you can't find a person with PhD and still be a kafir. Subhanallah, sometimes you see a person with all these degrees, you ask him, he said, no, I believe in Jesus, and I believe, and I said, we believe in Jesus too. He said, but you know what, then why are you not Christian? As I told someone, I said, prove to me that Jesus taught Christianity, and I'll be a Christian today. This is the Bible. Prove to me. I say, I swear by Allah. I say, a Muslim will never swear and then back off. I say, I swear, if you can prove to me Jesus preached Christianity today, this is the Bible, I'll become a Christian. I promise you. He couldn't. You know why? You know why I was so confident as to swear? The word Christianity is not even in the Bible. The word Christianity is not even in the Bible. And yet look, with all the zeal. It's only recently that I saw something very shocking. These people have even now started quoting the Bible on what? Baked goods. Like bread. I don't know if you see it. In New York, like you see, you take bread, you just look on it like, you know, they ensure that before you open it, you have a verse. Now their dawah has now been extended even into supermarkets. And we have all the honor. And we don't seem to connect the dots, generally speaking, or either we don't appreciate it, or Allahu Alam. And so when our sheikhs actually try to encourage us to actually rethink the honor of the ummah, this is extremely important. This is extremely important. Once we do that, inshallah, things will fall in place, and we just have to keep on making dua. Because then we'll be thinking, what about this tribulation? What about this problem? Subhanallah, what about this? Oh, this is the end. Then comes another, subhanallah, what about that? But even physiologically, it's the same thing. This disease will hit, subhanallah, this is the end. And then the another one we eat, the other one will come, and then the next one. Because once this one comes, we think, oh, maybe it's because I've stopped, or I'm not eating too much French fries. Now then you eat more. Then you have more problems. And so maybe it's because the salt is not that much. You put more salt, then you have hypertension. And then finally you go for medication. And it's the number 4 killer. So maybe it's time we run back to Tibb al-Nabawi. We've tried all types of medications, all types of system. I think it's time. We're not inventing something new. No, we're just going back to our roots. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not like bashing medication and stuff. But I'm saying this is the official position. But with Tibb al-Nabawi, inshallah, we can protect ourselves. Bi-iznillah, we take preventive measures so that we don't get a point where we have to what? We have to rely on medication. Because if you don't take clues from Tibb al-Nabawi and eat food as our medicine, we will end up eating medicine as our food. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for us. I know I've not done justice to the topic, but I don't feel comfortable because I have my sheikh looking right in my eyes, so to speak. It makes me shiver a little bit. Maybe next time, sheikh, you might want to sit, mashallah, the other side. I'll feel a little bit comfortable, sheikh. Jazakallah khair. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for us. I'm going to stop here, inshallah, if you have 1 or 2 questions. Inshallah. If it has to do, please, if it has to do with fiqh, have mercy on me. Ask them. If it has to do with maybe health, maybe the little bit that we know, inshallah, we share with you. ربنا ظلمنا أنفسنا وإن لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكن من الخاسرين والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته.